All right, let's get right into it. Think about the software you've used your whole life. It's always been like a hammer, a tool. You pick it up, tell it exactly what to do, and it does that one specific thing. Simple. But that's all changing, and I mean really changing. We are right on the edge of this huge shift, moving away from those basic tools to something that acts, well, a lot more like a teammate.
And this slide really gets to the heart of it, the fundamental shift. On the left, you've got your old software. It's a tool, right? It literally just sits there, waiting for you to tell it what to do. Click this, type that. But on the right, that's the new AI. That's your teammate. The whole game changes here. You're not feeding it step-by-step instructions anymore. Nope. You just give it a goal, and it figures out how to get there on its own. It's a proactive partner, not a passive tool.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today. We'll start with what it means to move beyond a simple tool. Then we'll peek under the hood to see how digital teammates work. After that, we'll get practical with the impact on your day, zoom out for the bigger picture, and wrap up with a very important word of caution. Let's do it.
All right, first up, beyond a simple tool. And I really want to land this point. This is not just another software update. It's not version 2.0. This is a complete reimagining of how we work with the technology. We're going from using a thing to truly collaborating with an entity. So, what exactly is an autonomous digital teammate? Well, here's the official definition. It's an AI system that can understand your goals, figure out the steps to get there, and then, and this is the key, actually do the work. All without you having to micromanage every single move. Think about it. You're no longer the one clicking all the buttons and navigating all the menus. You're the manager, not the intern.
But why? What's the point of all this? Well, the objectives are pretty powerful. The whole idea is to get you out of the weeds, to free you up from all that tedious, manual work so you can focus on high-level strategy. It's about enhancing your decision-making by letting the AI find patterns in the data for you. Essentially, you get to focus on the what, the big goal, and let your teammate handle the how. And maybe best of all, it finally stops you from having to be the human glue between all your different software, constantly copying and pasting.
Okay, that's the what and the why. But how in the world does this stuff actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the brain of your new collaborator. It really boils down to a four-step process. First, it has to understand what you're saying, right? That's natural language processing. Next, it uses its reasoning engine to make a plan. Now, step 3, this is where the magic really happens. It can actually use your other apps. We're talking email, your calendar, Salesforce, you name it. And finally, step 4, it learns and gets better. It remembers what worked, what didn't, and can even correct its own mistakes. It's a constant feedback loop.
So, that's the techie stuff. It all sounds pretty cool in theory, right? But what does this actually mean for you? For your day, your tasks, your workflow? Let's get down to the real-world impact. You can think of the impact like a chain reaction, really. It starts with step 1. You connect the AI to your accounts. Pretty simple. Then, step 2, it just starts executing. It handles all that routine stuff, like prepping reports or scheduling meetings. And that leads directly to step 3. You get time back. I'm talking hours back in your week. And what do you do with all that new time? That's step 4, the focus shift. You can finally apply your brain power to the creative, strategic work that actually matters.
And this is so important. Your actual role at work is going to change. Look at the before column. You were the worker, right? Manually doing the task, following rigid instructions. But now, look at the after column. You're the supervisor. Your job isn't to do the task anymore, it's to delegate the outcome. You don't export data, you just say, hey, build me that Q3 sales deck. Your job becomes reviewing the finished product. You're managing results, not getting bogged down in the process. Okay, so we've seen the impact on you as an individual. But what happens when everyone in a company has a digital teammate? Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
At the organizational level, the benefits are just massive. First, efficiency. I mean, come on, these things are available 24/7. They don't take coffee breaks. Then there's quality. And AI follows the rules perfectly, every single time. That means standardized results and way fewer human errors. And finally, scalability. This one's a game changer. Need more help? You can spin up 10 more agents in an instant. No interviews, no onboarding.
But with this new power comes a new responsibility and a new skill. Get ready for this term because you're going to hear it a lot. Agent orchestration. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the skill of managing a team of these AI agents, making sure they're all working together towards the big company goals. This is going to be a huge deal. Now, it's easy to get carried away with all the excitement,
But we have to be smart about this. With any technology this powerful, there are risks and limitations. So let's finish up with a very important word of caution.
And the big one, the one you've probably heard about, is the hallucination problem.
So what does that mean? It means the AI can just make stuff up. And the scary part is, it will present that false information with 100% confidence. It'll invent facts, cite fake sources, you name it. This is exactly why that supervisor role we talked about is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to be the one to verify the critical facts because the AI has no idea when it's just making a wild guess.
And it's not just hallucinations. There are at least 3 other major risks you've got to keep in mind. First, security and privacy. You're giving this thing the keys to the kingdom after all. Second, context blindness. It doesn't have that human touch, so you probably don't want it handling a sensitive client complaint. And finally, over-reliance. If we let these things do everything for us, what happens to our own skills? It's a real question we need to ask.
So, look, there's no question this is transformative. This whole shift from tool to teammate, it's not science fiction. It's happening right now. It's already reshaping our jobs, our roles, and our companies. Your digital teammate isn't just coming, it's practically here. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, are you ready?